Alright, so turns out that, I don't know if you've seen the previous videos here, I made these pliers to remove these rivets to work on these machines, and works great, except for reach. In some cases, basically it needs to be off to one side. There are some cases where I just don't have the room to get get these to get straight in, and so I need to bend it off to the side. And Godzilla agrees. And here's what the machine looks like until you take it out once, and then it looks like it got dumped on by a dump truck. That's the way it works. And it's funny because you can wash it and wash it and wash it, and then you go work on it, and then it's mud all over you somehow because there's no getting all the mud. Too many hiding places for the mud. So, anyway, I'm going to go into Solidworks, and so here is the CAD model of it as it is. I don't think this is going to take very long. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to back up to here and think about this a little bit. I basically just want to rotate either the handle or the jaws around to one side. Let me roll back to the end, not that far. I'm going to suppress these guys. And so basically, I mean, I can really it's probably easiest if I just rotate the jaws one way or another. And one way or another. I meant it one way, and then I realized it sounded like, yeah. So, one way or another, I'm going to, one direction or another, I'm going to move these to one way or another, have angled axis. I'm actually going to make them a little taller and make this hinge narrower too. All right, so I'm adjusting the scope of the project already. So that's what they call scope creep, and that's why I don't like to bid out fixed costs, because people don't know what they really want. So I work hourly. If you want to hire me, it's hourly, unless it's super clear once in a while. But anyway, so let's first I'm going to save a backup copy, save, and then save as, and control drag and drop makes a backup copy. Simple. Okay, and from there I want to make this hinge smaller, as I said. Do I have that dimensioned? It seems like I do, because it looks like it's fixed, but it could be something else fixing it. Let's first make this a little longer here. That's interesting. So, yeah, so a little longer and a little smaller diameter on the hinge. And why is this saying it's fixed? Oh, because it's fixed. I'm like, why is the diameter fixed? Because it's fixed. Alright, and let's throw a dimension on that. And it's probably going to break if I just change the dimension. Let's see what happens. So 0.69, let's say 0.5, half inch. And that's not, that may be both narrow enough and durable enough, which is the key. And I am going to just make this tangent here. I may have to undo that later. This is interesting. I don't know what's going on here exactly. How did that get like that? I don't understand, but that's okay. Oh, I do understand. Is this fixed? Now let's show my relations. Why is this? What is causing this diameter? Is that because of this this tangency? Like, does it need need to go? Yeah, okay. Because this should be more like this. And that can be like that. I'll throw a dimension on here just to fix that in place. And this radius does not need to be so crazy. I am going to, what is this now? A little confused. What? Okay, is that, okay, it's construction geometry. Alright, that makes sense. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to trim this. To like there. And trying to get this construction geometry out of the way. That's less than ideal. So that trim didn't take because I went off the screen. Let's try that again. Okay. And I can take it a little further. Let's do that. Tangent arc, Alt A to like here. And then it stays in tangent arc. And I guess I'll go to like, maybe best if I go all the way to like here. I'm not sure, I may have some kind of an interference. We'll have to figure that out at some point. And I don't know why those don't want to go concentric. I'm sorry, tangent. T for trim. And I don't want it too wimpy, but I don't want it too wide either. I mean, this is now how wide? A little over 1.5 wide, but that's open, so I can close it, then make it narrower. It's probably good. That's probably good geometry right there. I think that's probably sufficient. And okay, and so I made that diameter smaller, and yeah, that should be good. So far so good. Let's if I roll to the end, does it break? All right. So the spring, the handle, I really didn't change. The spring, oh, interesting. I didn't change the spring. I thought I was going to have to make this pivot smaller with making this diameter smaller, but it looks like I'm still in the good. Now I do have the issue of, yeah, so I was thinking these might interfere with each other, and sure enough, so I added that tangency, and these would interfere prior to these tips touching. So, okay, I'll just radius this. I'll put a fillet less than that. And alright, so 0.2. And same thing here. So now hopefully as these points come together, this will not interfere. I mean, I guess there's one way to find out, right? Is rotate it. So I am going to add a move copy bodies. And before I do that, I'm going to do this with a sketch. This is a trick I use for move copy bodies because move copy bodies doesn't use instant 3D. So like for example, if I click on this, I can adjust all these dimensions just by clicking on it. Whereas move copy bodies, if you just translate like a physical translation, moving side to side type of thing, it does not get the benefit of the instant 3D. Not in my version anyway. I don't know. Could be newer versions, but I doubt it. Knowing how Solidworks generally works, they make stuff and they leave it alone. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. Move copy bodies using instant 3D. But I have a workaround, a very simple workaround to make it work. So I'm going to put a sketch on this plane. And I'm going to create a line from the center. And Yeah, and I'm just gonna just an arbitrary angle, and then I'm gonna use move copy body's constraints to have this follow this line. So now I can just drag this line, and I could dimension it if I wanted to really act like instant 3D. The dimension it wise anyway. So alright, so I'm going to rebuild. Then I'm going to show my sketches, so that shows again, and then I'm going to move copy bodies, and I'm going to move this by constraint. Yeah, that'll work. So I was going to say, so if I just make this tangent from here to here, it's not going to rotate around the pivot. But I can also add a concentric from here to here, and that will cause it to rotate instead. So that works out. And so now you'll see this is a good little trick. Now I can rotate this further by moving this line. And so I'm not yet interfering. So if I didn't make that clear, I'm trying to verify that the tips can get close enough together before this contacts this. Oh yeah, it's looking plenty good. As you can see, no contact yet. It's basically this to this is the contact I'm slightly concerned about. Well, I'm greatly concerned about it, because if it contacts, then the tool doesn't work. So, alright, so there's full contact, and it still doesn't quite touch. I was going to adjust the radius even a little to make it as strong as I could, but it's plenty strong, so I'm not going to worry about that. I am going to suppress this, which will also suppress the move bodies. I'm going to move these radii to before these explode view move copy bodies. And I was going to say, and I'm done. No, I'm not. I didn't rotate things yet. So, what? How did somehow my spring here is not over. Let me shade this so you can see what I mean. I always work in shaded, rarely wireframe, and it's funny that I just did it because it just worked for me, just randomly. What was I saying? The spring is now not over the handle here, so in theory I'll need some kind of a support unless I modify the handle back a little bit more like it was. So let's edit this sketch, and again though I'm going to have to make sure there's not an interference. How's that? Almost, but not quite. Let's go. Let's fully support that. So I think my problem is this. I'm going to get rid of this entirely, and I'm going to do this. This may cause me other problems. We'll find out. That's greater than I need, but let's see what happens. Okay, so now we are under the spring, but we have this interference. So I can put a radius on that, much like I did on the other one. Can I just reuse that? Those two fillet features, we'll see. That's just on the green one, and this interference is in two places. Not what I meant to do. Alright, I'm going to go back into wireframe. Let's see what the problem is. Oh, there's already a radius on it. Why is it so tiny? Let's see. Back to shaded. I'm going to hide this guy. Oh, it's there. Why am I confused now? Oh, which is it? It's there and there. Isn't it on both sides though? It is on both sides. Okay. I mean, I guess it's not a big surprise. But if I already have this radius, I can adjust it and add it to the other one. I need to add it to the other one anyway, so I might as well just go right into it. And that one I already did, right? Let's see how that is. And Shift Tab to bring that back. Alright, and those were carried over because they were patterned. Okay, so I have no more interference at basically full open. And oh, that's interesting. my cutouts to narrow the tips, I have to adjust those. That's easy enough, should be. Although I'm going to preserve this angle. I'm going to put a dimension on this angle, so when I stretch this, it preserves it. That ought to do it. I don't know why it tells me that, because it's fine. I don't know, this is weird that that's showing as transparent. Okay. Interesting. Oh, it's probably because the pattern is saying use the existing visual componentry, whatever it says. Visual properties. So I did away with that. Alright, so this looks like nothing is interfering anymore. At that point, let me just verify with this guy. So when that is closed, those don't interfere, those don't interfere. Huh, handle's a little wider than it even needs to be then. I mean this, because I have this gap here, but that's fine. Yeah. Okay, let's press that. Let's go back to here. I'm not sure what these, two broken radii. I'm not sure what those were. It's these comfort, like these edges. So let's go back to here. I feel like getting rid of that for some reason. I'm gonna, just because I can. And maybe it'll ruin everything. I don't know. I'm gonna do it here too. Probably ruins everything. Probably not. Could be. I mean, maybe I put this one earlier. Let's see. Let's clear. Oh. I mean, was it this? I'm going to pretend this used to be here, and I think it probably wasn't. But I'm doing it anyway. Because it might save me. Ah. That's interesting. Don't need it that much. That'll do. Alright, maybe now. Ooh, no. No, this being such a small radius. See, I don't want, okay, I'll just not, that's not a handle, so I'll just leave that one sharp. And I will clear this. Oh, it's the other side. It's the other side. And my Bluetooth speaker chimes in. And if I do the bottom, though, that's going to break it. No? Why not? I'll take it. That's interesting. I'd have guessed that would have broke it. Okay. I mean, can I do it on the top, too? No, that would break it. Okay. Well, that's acceptable. And I don't know what the other guy was. But that's looking pretty slick, if I say so myself. Alright, if I roll to the end here, I already suppressed it. Why are those broken now? I don't care, as long as I'm not interfering. Let's unsuppress this guy again, just to check again. Ah, it's unhappy. Because I guess I obsoleted those radii by this guy, and then so I broke this, and so I just need to redefine the tangent. What is actually? Oh, wrong one, I guess. There we go. And good. And how are we looking? All right, that's like starting to come in contact. And that. Oh, what did I do? That's going to be close enough. That's going to be close enough. But you know what? I will increase the size, the radius of this slightly. 1, 2. R for rebuild. And okay, it's not contacting, and that's even closer. Let's go a little more. 1.15. That ought to do it. Okay, so we're good interference wise. And then if I suppress this guy, we look like we're still good interference wise. So that should be good for that. Except for once I do this rotation thing, I'm gonna have new interferences. I'm quite confident, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. I am going to let's roll back. Let's delete these guys. These are obsolete. I'm gonna put this back here, and then put these in a folder so I know they're the exploded. XP explode, the old AutoCAD hotkey I used to use, so it makes sense to me. Okay, let's roll back to before that, and copy this guy and this guy rotationally. Do I have an axis there? Or is that right on the z-axis? I think it's right on the z-axis. So let's see. Rotate. I make these axes and have them in this folder in my template. Z-axis. And I don't know, 45 degrees. Copy. Check copy. Alrighty. And how's this gonna work? I mean, hopefully 45 is enough. I'm kind of screwed on my clearances here, but I can adjust that, I guess. Alright. Alright, I need to cut, make a couple cuts here. So, again, I'm going to my XY plane, C for circle, draw a circle on the center. Where do I guess here. Undo that. I'm going to draw a circle instead of projecting the geometry because the geometry wasn't a circle. Okay. And that's not fully defined, but it's on the edge, so I'm over it. Alright, I'm going to use this sketch twice. First, I'm going to extrude cut. And cut this one and this one. Is that gonna? Oh, I didn't tell it a depth or a direction. Garbage in, garbage out. Alright, let's just go mid-plane and call it 3, and that should be plenty. And I'm just going to keep all bodies just easier this way, and then I will delete the bodies I don't want. You know what? I guess I should have just deleted all. I should have cut all 4 of them. Let me see if that's right. I think that makes sense. Okay, and then I'm going to delete this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy. Ah, I forgot that part of my plan was to preserve. Oh, pardon me. Preserve this hub. I need some coffee. I drank less coffee today on accident. Yeah. All right. Yep. Okay. So this copy should be twice. But you know what I'm going to do is I have a new strategy that when I copy bodies more than one, that if the model gets complicated, it can be hard to investigate. Where'd that copy body? Oh, okay. Way down here. It can be hard to investigate and figure out what's doing what because you don't see the names on the bodies. If you go into the bodies folder and I'm trying to figure out which was what, I can rename the feature so then the body is renamed so I can trace it. Whereas if I do multiple copies in one command, it's just like copy 1, copy 2, copy 3, copy 4, and I can't tell which is which. And so only for that reason I'm going to do a separate move copy bodies, but I have to go to right after the original one before I cut these up. So I'm going to do a second move copy bodies on what? Yeah, okay. Why am I confused? Oh, I get it. Anyway, I'm going to go to back behind it, but before this. And I am going to move copy bodies on this guy and copy and no translation necessary. And so now I have extra move copy bodies. And so I'm going to use this sketch again. And mid-plane and 3 works. But this time I'm going flip side to cut. And that will leave the core here. And so then I can reuse those cores. I told it to figure out automatically which ones to cut through. And it did exactly what I told it to do, which was what I didn't want it to do. So I only want it to do the copy nice and copy nice. Okay. And there we go. Except I did want to move the supports along with the jaws. I wonder when what happened? What? I don't know why that it's just not shown. I don't understand why that so I mean this is a copy. Oh, that's that one, yeah. Oh, haha, I did it on the wrong one. I'm going to deselect this guy and this guy. I need to do it with this other move body copies. Copy. Okay. All right. And that radius has already failed, I believe. And cut and delete. What's this cut? I don't know. Oh, that's the that's the one I want. All right. And so now in theory I can do a combine on this guy and this guy and one of these guys. Not sure. This guy? Maybe? Yeah. I think so. So I add those up, and then I do a combine on this guy, and this guy, and this guy. Right? But now I do have this interference that I need to take care of. Shouldn't be a big deal. No interference over here. But do I want to make it even more than 45 degrees? I think I may. What's going on here? What is that? Oh, haha. That's just the old guys, the old copies. Obsolete. I mean, if I go more than 45, I could be looking for trouble. But I feel like 60 is just going to be cooler and more applicable. All right, so that was. I'm gonna do a save. Sorry, I need coffee. Do a save and save as, and make a backup copy. Okay, and oh, that's the wrong one. It's this one. I think I just said that to myself right before I did it even. Alright, so I'm going to still call it 60. What? Please tell me it didn't. Okay. 60. Look at that, it's aggressive. That'll get me in there. And so I need to make clearance around this guy. So I guess I'll go from here. Right? And then I will offset this, say .06 should be plenty, and then extrude cut, flip direction, through this guy, bam. Ooh, more interference here, very uncool. Ah, is that a deal breaker? What am I missing? I'm confused. Okay. That's this guy. Oh, and I wouldn't be able to close this guy, so I'm going to have to modify that. But even still over here. Ah. So, it's going to mess up my radius. That's okay. Alright, we'll do a similar thing here. Put a sketch here. And offset this guy. Can't offset. Alright, just the edge then. There we go. And let's do it this way. Ah. And out this way. Like so. And have to do similar. So this, with this, I've broken this sort of, but not really. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, I still have that. What? I'm confused. But there's no body called move copy body 9, is there? That doesn't make sense. I mean, if move copy body, whatever it's called, is moving something. Oh, because it's broken. Why is it broken? Tangent. Huh? I mean, the line is the line. The curve is the curve. I mean, is the concentric? Interesting. Well, I need it to be concentric, so let's, I'm not sure what that was about, but let's do this. Okay, add, and then concentric, this to this. Okay. So now, it should follow. Although the tangent is on the other side, but that's okay, that's still going to work for me. No, it's not on the other side. It's still going to work for me. Oops. Okay, as James Brown says, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. As he said, I'm back. He says it like 5 times in a row. And then he says, get up off of that thing and dance, you'll feel better. Alright, offset. 0.06 still, yeah. And so it's going to be like this, is it? So there we go. And trim that, and any old line will do now. Oops. I need to do an extrude cut with that shape. The other direction, and on this body. What happened? Did I not give it a distance? Oh, did I do it on the wrong body? Select the contours. I don't want to select no contours. We don't need no stinking contours. Let's cut this guy. Now we're talking. Geez, this looks a little wimpy in here, but that's probably fine. I could decrease the size of the hinge a little. This is concerning, though. This big giant cutout is a little bit concerning to me. Just a little bit. I mean, to that end, I should probably make this radius bigger. Let's watch as this changes shape as I do that. Maybe. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. I guess that was too large of a change. Let's try dragging it with Instant 3D instead and watch as it progresses. I don't understand what's going on right now. What happened? Undo. Undo. Hey, what do I, yeah, I think the jaws are strong enough. So Let's try that again. No. I mean, I can just do it manually, right? Let's do this. Let's oh, he's kind of looking for trouble with what I was doing there. Anyway. Well, let's do this. Let's roll back to here. And I'm going to edit this and remove this one and give it its own feature. Maybe that will save me the hassle. Oh, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this a non-circular. Non-circular. Conic row ought to do it. And no, other way. I'm going to make it almost like a chamfer, as you can see there. Look at that. That's aggressive. Let's see what happens there. And it didn't. I thought that was going to do something good for me. Why did I think that? That didn't do squat for me. Although, this would allow me to reinforce this guy this way. Wow. Oh, look at that. Accidental non-dummy moment. Okay. And if I do... well, whatever. It's going to mess with my radii, but that's whatever. My fillets, I should say. And so then if I do this, show that guy, and put a sketch on here, and let's just go with this guy, and something like this. And then extrude up to here. Combine with this body only. And let's see if that clears there. Alright, so I'm going to... I mean, that could be my whole solution. Really could, because that puts all this meat back in that half of the handle. Puts it on par with the other one. I mean, that looks like it actually worked. So, except for this, not that cutout. Where are we? This cutout, it's too parametric because when I move it back, it would move back. So I'm going to remove the relations from this guy. Oops, no. Display relations, delete all. Rebuild. Oh. Why am I missing? Oh, because I want to express that anyway. Okay. Ah, why did that do that? So this guy I need to also remove the what? Ah, I see what happened, because that's the guy that's no. What? Why if I move? Actually, this guy can be further out. Let's show that. And look at that. Alright, but I still, what was my problem? Is that if I move, if I suppress this move, then move to go with it. Okay. Alright, I see what I can do. I can use this geometry to move it back now that it's cut out. That's actually what I was kind of thinking earlier anyway, but then I thought I didn't need to, but now I say I do need to. So, oops, no, not constraints, rotate. No, actually I do want constraints, because rotate is just by a number. Constraints lets me fit it, to rotate it by fitting it to other pieces. So I'll make this guy concentric with this guy, add, and then I'll make this guy concentric with this guy, add. So now, oops, now I am back to true position, and my supports are there, and everything's the same color, so it's a little tricky to see. Let's turn the hinge back on. I think everything should be in, oops, I think everything should be in line now. Let's throw some different colors. Just for a little contrast. I like satin finish plastic generally. Oh, I was already there. Ah. Let's give this guy blue. Let's give this guy green. And there we go. Now I have a 60-degree offset, which should give me all kinds of better access now. I'm very happy about that. So I'm going to save it, and I'm going to save it as a step file, and I'm going to print it. 1024A for the first one for today, and okay, and let's go into my Creality print slicer, and I'm still in this project. Let's go back to prepare, which is good because now I still have my same print settings, and open this guy and step file, and I don't know why it brings me to there, but here is 1024A. I'm going to save this project. Save this project. I'm going to add PA to this. Oops. Nope. And I'm going to slice it. And ooh, I get this little nugget over here. While it's slicing, I'm going to put my card in. There's one. I need a drink of water. I am parched. I'm fairly dehydrated. I played hockey last night. Might have had a couple frosty beverages along with that afterwards. And then this morning I ran and did some rowing exercises. And now I'm talking a lot, so I'm getting thirsty here. Alright. Oh, I see. No, that's not what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. And let's do a check on the geometry before I get too carried away. I'm not going to worry about that little piece of nylon there. That's fine. Oh, I got a spare one there, though. See, in the STL files, bodies that aren't shown don't save to the geometry of the STL file. But step files, it does. So I am going to go back to prepare, and I'm going to delete this. Okay, good. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go back into Solidworks and do a bodies delete thing. Delete keep. I'm going to say keep, and I'm going to keep everything shown. And I'm going to save, and then I'm going to call it step file, overwrite, yes. Go into here, open, step A, looking pretty cool. Ooh. Ooh. What? Is that a... Oh. I need to make a custom sport for that. Yeah, that's not going to be cool because it's not going to want to come off. Alright, what am I going to do? I mean, when those come together... So if I do this... Oh, I don't need all that stinking clearance. Right? Oh, let me do that again. I mean, most of it. I can take up most of it, right? So when I did that, no, I did that. Okay. What happens if I do this? Okay. Then I do this, like this, but I also want that. No, I want that. Right? And like this. I can trim this guy and this guy. And let's turn off sketches. Okay. And let's put a line here. Trim this guy. Nah, I don't want to trim that guy. I'll make him construction. Okay. And I'll trim this guy. And this guy. And then I'll say select chain. Delete. And I'm just going to eyeball this. Let's do this right from the center. That's not eyeball. This is not the eyeball part. Ooh. Alright, little workaround. See, because I wanted to get this off of here. And then I can extend this to there. That was a good little trick. If you didn't see what happened there, go back and watch why I did that. Because I wanted to trim that, but if I trimmed it, then I would have a double arc here. And wouldn't have been able to trim it without losing this, which would have made this not fully defined. And so what I did is I trimmed that segment away, allowed me to drag around that to eliminate the double arc here. Pretty slick, if I do say so myself. Alright, and then this is going to extrude down to here. And combine with this guy. And so now, if I go to the end, nice, it didn't break everything. I was a little worried I was going to break things. Okay, and it's a little chunky here, but whatever. So this is a tool. It's going to be super stringy anyway. It's not going to be noticeable compared to how crappy stringy it is. All right, and so if I, this guy, I'm just checking for interferences. I got a little too aggressive. Noise. Oh, what? I thought it would let me instant 3D that thing, but no. Undo twice. Back to here. Is that what I just added? I think so, yeah. Okay, now I can 3D. Huh. Why can I now 3D it? I don't know. Whatever. I wonder how Nylon is at bridging. Probably pretty poor. That's probably going to be a disaster. We'll see what happens. Hey, worst case, I can Worst case, I can dig stuff out manually. Oh, maybe that's why I couldn't instant 3D it, because it's not in the same place anymore. That doesn't kind of make sense, but I guess it does. I guess the move copy bodies may have eliminated the ability to instant 3D it. Okay. I'll buy that. Alright, turn my sketches. I just made that visible. Now turn it on. I'm trying to close up the gap a little more by doing like so. A little more. Beauty. Okay. Let's press that. We are now cooking with gas. Actually, did I? No, okay, I added stuff here. Because, I mean, in theory, I could sort of notch that, and then this would not be printing on air at all. Do I want to do that? I could probably get away with it. I mean, it's a pretty big notch, though. I better notch. Sorry. I'm using myself. Okay. Alright. Oh, shit, the loony bin people just showed up. Hold on, I gotta hurry up and finish before they break the door down. Alright, I'm gonna say save. I'm gonna say save as. Am I delete bodies? Yes, the delete bodies is there. Save as step. Overwrite this guy again. Yes. Overwrite. And delete this guy again. And open. And say step file type. And pliers. And slice when it's ready. Slice. And my memory stick is in there. And I'm almost done. How long has this taken? Probably way too long. I knew it was going to, and I goofed off doing this instead of actually working for money. Does it say how long? I thought it would say how long. Ah, there we go. 20 minutes. But I think I stopped in the middle somewhere there. Yeah, so it's probably more like 40 minutes. Which isn't too bad, but it's not too smart. But whatever. What are you going to do? Alright, that's sliced. Let's export to local. Actually, let's give it another look, even though I already gave it a look. And I already know I'm going to print on air a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. Just that little triangle. And so hopefully that'll just bridge okay enough. And if not, I can dig shit out. I mean, stuff. And, alright, let's not rush things. That's like an optical illusion. These notches. That's weird. One of these is missing. That's fine. Let's just go down. See if anything jumps out at me. I don't see any problems. All right. Export to local. F. Let's add the PA in here, so indicating that it's sliced for nylon. PA polyamide. Open local folder. Eject. And I am done with this portion of the episode. So thanks for watching. Share, like, comment, questions, requests. Let me know. Thanks for watching. See you next time.